Hey guys, welcome to Create with Creative Queen, home of Tutorial Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a new video. Let's get creative together. Hey guys, it's your Creative Queen. So we are here today to create a junior size clipboard and a standard size clipboard. This junior size clipboard is 5 inches by 8.25 inches. And we'll hold a junior legal pad size paper. And then this is a 9 by 12. It will hold an 8.5 by 11 inch legal pad or just the paper. So let's get started. To create this, you're going to need your template or your pages to print. You're going to need some chipboard. I use 80-point chipboard. Now for this one, I am using this over because I messed up on one earlier and it's the last one so I can record the video, but I'll be putting more up later, so I'll probably do more recordings. But 80-point is going to give you the most solid clipboard, so go ahead and do that. We're going to need 2 pieces that are going to get stuck together, and then we're going to add our template on top of it. Before you stick them together, guys, you want to go ahead and punch your holes in there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our clamp and we're going to center it on our page. Make sure that everything's in working order. And the best way to center it is to measure. This is 9 inches across. So 4.5 inches will be your center. I go up here. So 4.5 is my center. I'm going to go ahead and bring my center over here, bring it down. It does not have to be perfect, but that is good for me. I've made a couple of these, but guys, go ahead and measure yours out. You're then going to take a marker or a pen and mark your circle. Okay. And there are 2 ways to punch this, guys. You can get one of the punchers that'll punch through heavier duty materials like a crocodile, or that's what I think it's called. Or you can use a regular hole punch. If you use a regular hole punch, you want to make sure it's empty. So hold on. Let me get the paper out of it. So the little hole in the bottom where it shows what you're punching, the little cheat hack is to hold that open over that so that you can see the hole and then make your punch. This is going to take a little bit more of a squeeze. And I think I broke my hole punch earlier, but there it goes. Okay. Go ahead and get that hole out of there. That paper out of there. Yeah, I broke it earlier because I was trying to go through 4 pieces. Go ahead and line it up again. You can see the hole through the little crack, and then squeeze. I'm not going to use this for the next ones because this hole punch has had it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. Same thing here. If you open up the little hole where you're supposed to be able to see once you empty, if you pop it over it, you can line it up to your hole, your dot, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So this is a We Are Memory Keepers hole punch. It's a little bit more sturdy and durable. So now I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to make sure that I trace my circles again. Line up my holes, make sure those came out good, and that works. So now I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm just gonna make my little circle, little circles, and then I'm gonna punch my holes. So like I said, this, I can see right through where the hole is supposed to go as long as you take out the piece that you punched. So hopefully this is showing in camera. Center it on my little dot and punch. Clear it out and do the same thing over here. So you don't have to go buy an expensive one. You just need to be able to see the dot that you provided for yourself. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and take some double-sided tape. You don't need a lot. You just need enough to kind of hold it together as you assemble it. If you're buying the 9 by 12 inches, then you do not have to cut it because that's the size we're going to need. If you buy 11 by 17, you will need to cut it down to 9 by 12 in order to use it for standard size. All right, so I'm just taking the tape off. It's really not on there to do much, but keep it aligned while we put our sticker paper on. So I bought this from Michael's and I am not a fan. I don't feel like it's comes off as easy as I thought it would. So this probably won't be one I use in the future. But all we're doing for this is making sure that we line up our design. So now I'm just gonna line up my holes and I'm gonna make sure everything punched out well. And I'm nice and lined up. Oop, not down there. Patience is key, guys. Take your time, line it up. And I did see over here, I pulled out my double-sided tape, but that's fine. All right, so I'm gonna move some of this out the way. And now that this is stuck together, we're gonna go ahead and get our design. So I'm gonna cut off the excess white space. For the standard size, you only need to print one page on 11 by 17. If you can print 11 by 14, or if Walgreens or CVS or your local print shop has a smaller size of 11 by 14 and can print for you, then have it printed by them. Otherwise, if you can run an 11 by 17 through your printer, go ahead and use the template at 11 by 17 or resize it to 11 by 14, it'll still fit. All right, so that's been cut out. Now guys, when I did my original design, I did this one first. I do like the way it looks with Miss Tasha facing forward, but anybody behind you is going to see this. So I decided on this one, I was gonna reverse it. And this is how we're gonna do them from now on. So I'm putting this on the back side, so if somebody's facing your back, they're gonna see this, and this will be what faces you. Okay, so now that we've got that done, we're going to go ahead and peel back a corner. And I'm going to lay it flat. And then I'm going to center this. Okay, so center it as best as you can. It does not have to be perfect. That's why we have the extra leeway on the design. Okay, going to turn it over carefully. Take your sheet that your image was on, and we're just going to squeegee to make sure there's no bubbles and that it's fully attached to the paper. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and flip it over, and I'm going to cut a little corner off the edges. I want to leave some of it so when I fold it over you don't see the corners, so you're just going to cut little tiny triangles off the edges. Okay, make sure you toss those so they don't stick to your design. And now we're just going to start by folding up one of the corners. We'll start on the left or the right. Pull it up towards you and fold it over. Turn it, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, nice and seamless. All right, then we're just going to go to the bottom, do the same thing, fold it up towards you. The same thing on the other side. Okay, now we've got our cover on. Looks nice. Now for here, guys, we want to go ahead and poke a hole through here so that we can find this later. So I'm going to poke it through. These are not going to be visible, but I'm going to go ahead and poke it so that I can find them when it's time to use them. Next, we're going to take our inside piece and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut out the design. This should be 8 by 11 inches. And this is one of the pages that got stuck in my printer. So we're going to disregard the fact that there is a tiny smear on the bottom. This I'll probably wind up donating or using around the house. But if it was for a customer, I would not use it because of that. But I'll probably put some type of sticker on top of it. So now we're just going to take that and line this up. okay? And I like the positioning of that. So now I'm going to hold it down. A second. I'm gonna hold it down and I'm gonna peel a corner and stick that corner down. And then I'm gonna go underneath and slowly peel until the rest of my design is in. Same thing with your squeegee. Make sure it's nice and adhered. Guys, we're almost done. That little piece is gonna drive me nuts, but I'm gonna cover it with something. All right, so we're gonna go back to where our holes are, and I'm just gonna, again, poke my little screwdriver through. And then I'm going to take the screwdriver that I'm gonna use to actually put the Chicago screws in. And it's going to go on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and poke all the way through, guys. You're not gonna see these holes, but you wanna get the excess sticker paper out of your way so that it doesn't get caught up in this screw. Okay, that I probably shouldn't have done. But we got some sticker paper here I might cover it with. All right, so now we're gonna grab our Chicago screws. You will need 2 sets. These are 4mm. I'm just grabbing them off my thing. I've lost these things so many times today. All right, so now we're gonna take our clamp and we're gonna place it over the holes. We're gonna make sure it's centered, and then I'm going to hold it up so I can insert one of the screws and then flip it back over, put your screw in place. Oop. Don't be like me. There we go. And then go ahead and screw it in. My finger on the bottom side is holding the base of it into place. And that one is now locked in, okay? Gonna do the same thing on the other side. Insert the bottom piece. Come over to the front. And we're gonna screw in while holding with our finger the other part of the screw. All right, and there you go, guys. You have made an 8.5 or 9 by 12 legal pad holder, and this will hold an 8.5 by 11. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and do the smaller one. The smaller one you will need a guillotine for, okay? And the reason you're gonna need the guillotine is because you do need to cut your chipboard down. So I'm gonna grab my guillotine, drop some stuff on the floor. All right, this is my guillotine. So you're gonna take one piece of chipboard. We're gonna open our guillotine up, make sure everything is cleared out of your way. And you're gonna slide it over until it's at 5 inches on your guillotine. Move this over, okay? 5 inches is my guide. I'm gonna go ahead and press down. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. Remember, we need 2 pieces to make one. Make sure it's lined up, 5 inches. And cut. Now you're gonna come over to the other side and we're gonna go 8.25 inches. Same thing here, 8.25 inches. Now we can lock our guillotine and move it out of our way. My screws are there. And I'm gonna get that one. Long story short, give me 1 second, sorry guys. All right, wanted to make sure I didn't lose my screws. All right, so set this aside, and then we're gonna do the same thing here. We are going to measure our pieces to make sure it goes on properly. So I'm going to center that. Then I'm going to use my marker. And I'm centering it side to side, as well as I want it to be flush with the top, okay? Now we're gonna grab our hole punch or this handy dandy device, make sure the hole's clear, and hopefully you guys can see through this one. So I've lined it up and I'm centering it with my little dot. Punch. Okay, eject that piece. Do the same thing here. Line it up. Center it with my little dot. I do love this thing because it's got more power than a hole punch, but not the price tag of all these expensive punchers. Okay, line it up again. Use that to mark my next hole. All right, set it aside. Turn it around because that's the way it goes when I put it back. Same thing here, get that little piece out. Punch, eject, line it up. I feel like this is the hardest part of the whole project. All right, now we're punched. We're gonna line our holes up. There we go. Turn it over, and I'm just gonna use my double-sided tape, but I'm gonna use this one. See if it goes a little faster. All right, flip that over, line those holes up, and line this board up. All right, press down. All right, now we're gonna grab our design, which Crystal set it aside somewhere. So for our smaller one, we can print on 8.5 by 11 paper. I'll go ahead and cut it out. You can use scissors too if you like. So I'm gonna cut all the excess white space off. All right, and while I'm cutting, I'm gonna just go ahead and do the same thing for this piece, so we're ready to go. This is our inside piece. So the sky's the limit with this design, guys. You can design it any way you want, and you can even flip the front cover for the back cover and the back cover for the front cover. That is totally up to you. This is yours to make it your own. All right, so that is cut out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my design. Doesn't matter which side I flip this to. Turn that upside down. And I'm just gonna peel back the corner, lay it down, and then I'm gonna take my design and I'm gonna center it as best as I can, okay? Press down, flip it over using the back of the transfer. Go ahead and squeegee to make sure you don't have any bubbles. All right, now we're just gonna cut off a little corner. Get those pieces out of your way so they don't stick to your design. And now we're just going to fold it over and pull it up. Same thing on this side. Down on the bottom. And up at the top. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and push our hole through so that we can see it. So I've poked it on that side and that side, and kind of clear out that hollow. There we go. All right, now we're going to take our inside piece, center it. And I feel like I cut too high right there, so I'm going to go ahead and flatten that out. That's not even. Let me line this up. I'm using the guides on my mat. It's a little bit off. Okay. All right, so we're gonna line that back up. Center it as best as you can. I'm gonna pull up one corner. Push it down. And then go ahead and squeegee out any air that got underneath it. And then I'm gonna push my hole through again. Okay. Now remember, I want to make it where it's nice and rounded out. Okay. Now we're gonna take our clasp. We're gonna grab our Chicago screws, which I almost thought we lost them. Take your back piece and push it through the hole in the back. Using your finger, you want to hold it on, and then we're gonna put our screw in the hole and go ahead and screw that in. Screw it in nice and tight, and then do the same thing on the other side. Grab your base, push it through the hole. This one I can see a little bit of paper, so hopefully it doesn't give me any trouble. And screw it in nice and tight. And guys, you have just created both of your clipboards, and it hangs, okay? I appreciate you guys watching. Drop some comments and let me know what you guys think. I hope this helped you. But there we go, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for future videos. Have a great night. Bye.